the most wonderful day of the year.
What are you doing at this exact moment?
Filming myself.
Okay. I'm going to give you these to put away.
Okay. Merry Christmas to me!
All of them go away in the over there.
In the over there.
Yes.
Mom, are you working today?
Only in the aspect of working for a lovely Christmas Eve. Yes. Working, work, like getting paid. No.
So, you and I get to spend the whole Christmas Eve day. Yay!
Why would you put somebody with very wet hair on you?
Well, because I've also got like drippy, like under eye mascara going here, so we're on the same footing.
Glam. Very glam.
We are gorgeous. So dark. What time is it? 8:30? So dark.
Very overcast.
Very overcast, which means probably a warmer day.
It is warmer.
Mom's already been out today. She's been to the pool. And because she went to the pool, she deserves, not just because she deserves it, because it's Christmas, and also because, shut up, body shamers, we're having stollen for breakfast. And I would like to know where it's been stolen from.
It was paid for.
Are you sure about that?
I hope so. I'm never going to be able to get tomato bisque again.
They don't do the tomato bisque anymore?
If it's been
If
stolen,
it's been
I
stolen,
can
we
never
are
show up again.
excommunicated. Well, actually, speaking of, we did steal a little bit of this bread because on the label for the bread it said it was like $15 or something, and we only paid $14 at the register because that's what it rang up as. So we stole the end of this bread. Goodbye, Father. I shall miss you. Okay. Oh, this is such a sad, snowy December day. Oh, am I driving? I do have the key.
Telling you they were.
Alright, so before I stop recording, before I actually start driving, Mom, where are we going?
The liquor store.
We're going to the liquor store on, what is today? Friday morning at 9:21 a.m. because we are adults.
And because it's open.
I need to go back inside because I don't have my wallet. It is 9:40 a.m. We got some local gin, and Mom's looking for her Irish whiskey, even though there are 2 bottles at home. But it's not the right brand bottle. I don't know what I was trying to say. I'm also going to try to find some hard seltzer because that's something that I can drink easily. But just look at the alcohol. Happy holidays. That is a great name for liquor. I am so happy about that.
I'd be.
I love your hat.
And the poor TSA guy was fit to be tied
Beep.
in a knot.
Take everything out of your pocket. Beep.
Every pocket.
Yeah.
Dad, wait, give me a 360. I want to see the glory of your hat.
And the glory,
In sharp relief with the Santa hat on the tree.
Me and Santa.
Have a good day at work.
Alright, I will.
Poor Daddy has to work on Christmas Eve.
Bye, Dad.
And we are having a decadent Friday morning, having done our errands, and we're watching Love Actually on a screen that is too small, because we can't find the way to change the settings.
Boo.
Well, we just had an unexpected visitor. I almost said unsurprising, but it was surprising, and it was unexpected.
Yes.
And it wasn't Santa Claus, because it's about 12 hours too early for that.
But it kind of was.
It was Mrs.
Phone company.
I was trying to think of a pun. The Ringle Bells Company. We've had a kind of crackly connection on our phone line, as though it's mine. There has been a crackly connection on the phone line for the last few weeks, and you did like an online diagnostic thing, and they said, we'll send someone on Monday. And today's Friday, and she just kind of popped by thinking, well, I had some free time, might as well. And turns out there was a thing to fix, so she did it. So one less thing to do on Monday. That means we can go out for breakfast. And not be back anytime soon. No, Dad doesn't need the car on Monday, does he? Ooh, good. So, it is now like 2:30. We have about 2 hours before we need to go to church for our things. So I'm going to shower, because this hasn't showered in a couple of days.
We were going to have conversations.
Well.
That's what you always say.
Yeah. And then we received a bunch of, like, deliveries today, and if you can see, most of what's under the tree is just straight up Amazon boxes.
That is so sad.
The spirit of the holiday is shifting. So I think after my shower and after I dry off a little bit, I am going to have a solo wrapping party and Mom's going to take a nap. And if you wake up and I tell you that you have to stay in the dining room, you have to stay in the dining room. Got it?
Got it.
Oui, chef. Well, I am freshly cleaned, and I smell like it. And Mom's taking a nap right now. I may not be far behind her, but I have just put on It's a Wonderful Life, and I am just wrapping things. Like this one that I just finished is for my dad, and it's kind of hard to see. It is labeled, you can't really see it, it is labeled Wackadoo, because that is what I call him. Because he's a total wackadoo. Maybe you can see. Under the tree, it's almost completely Amazon presents, or things from Amazon. So I'm hoping that more wrapping paper will make it a more jolly sight. Okay, there we go. Not too bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, shut up. Okay, let's see if it makes the tree any prettier. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so now I need to decide. Do I take a nap or do I have a cup of tea? I'm gonna lay down and keep watching It's a Wonderful Life, and if I fall asleep, I fall asleep. Oh look, we are in Christmas gear. Well, I'm in Christmas gear. Mom, are you in Christmas gear? Not really. Because we need to go to church, like, now. To like check in with what are we doing and when and at what time and etc. So I think she's just like putting away your hairbrush. Huh? She's changing pants because jeans are not for Christmas.
Can I finish watching and then you guys can go from where you know?
Yeah, just mark it where we finished. Clarence just landed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, because then when we get home we can finish and then I can ring the bell on the tree. That's our tradition. Alright, I have had a temporary outfit change. We are back home from church. I did not film anything. Mother, debrief. Ugh, lights on. Tell me about this service that we just went to.
Tell you about it?
What happened? Yeah, but tell them what happened.
Put the rest of the onion
It was a pretty big congregation considering everybody's still COVID and you could do it remotely.
Mm-hmm.
And the children's choirs were both there, which meant 4 and 5.
Yeah.
And one lone male singer.
Where's mute?
Circle in the
Middle. Nope, I changed channels instead. Okay.
And there were 3 people to talk about Christmas memories. And all of them were happy dad. And Carol was the first one. And we learned something about our associate minister.
That's more about what I did.
Oh, talk about you. Talk about me.
Talk about me, and this is my vlog.
Talk about me.
Me.
Okay. So she talked about growing up at Mayflower. And
Because the service is called I Remember.
Yes.
So whenever you talk about these things. You're talking about your memories of Christmas.
Of Christmas, and she talked a little bit about growing up at Mayflower and what it's like to do Christmas at Mayflower.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly she talked about Christmases since leaving Mayflower and being away from home and missing the traditions of home. But also enjoying and being exposed to and taken care of and enfolded by other families who are welcoming and sharing and making sure that your Christmas didn't suck.
Yep. And some of us got emotional.
Because she talked about you can't wish away homesickness sometimes, you just have to sit with it. And then she milked it. And she pulled a tear. And she pulled some tears from some other people. And then she yelled at me for being there and looking at her.
Because I was getting to my, it was all like jokey for a while, for like a page and a half, and then I started to go deep, and I was okay until I got to the I'll Be Home for Christmas lyrics, and then I got choky, because last year that song triggered me so fast, because I wasn't home for Christmas, and the thing is, I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams, which it was last year, and when I got to that line, it was like, if only in my dreams. And I lost, and then I tried to keep going, and I saw her out of the corner of my eye, and I lost my voice again, and I just went, I can't look at her!
I wasn't even doing anything, like,
You
maternal.
were triggering me!
I was looking at you. That's all I did.
Triggered.
Or
But Christian agreed with me
What?
that you're triggering. No, the thing about, like, I felt like the not being able to look at the thing that makes you emotional, just get through it.
Mm-hmm.
But all of us speakers got emotional, ultimately, about different things.
Oh, that
We all had a
happens.
moment.
Let's sniff.
And then, after the service, everyone else who came up to me said, you made me cry! I was like, oh, sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
And you have a tear duct malfunction, essentially.
Yes.
It's really hard for you to actually cry tears.
Yes. My tear ducts are placed in an unfortunate, instead of going down the cheek, they go down my sinuses.
So were you crying on the inside, essentially?
Well,
Because I didn't tear, I just got choked up.
and I didn't get choked up because I'd read it already, and so I knew it was coming. I think if I had been surprised, it would have got me, and I knew.
I was this close to asking you, because I sent it to her to print yesterday, yesterday, and I was this close to saying, don't read it, just print it. But I wanted to make sure it was, like, church appropriate.
Yeah, I'm glad I did. Well, I would have been okay too.
Yeah. I wish I'd filmed it, but then you would have just been sitting there for, like, 8 minutes, holding a camera like this.
You know, it's probably on YouTube because they did record it for.
Ooh, I'll see if I can snatch
So
it.
on the Mayflower.
I'll
Yes.
see.
Good evening. I grew up in this congregation. I started singing in the kids' choir with Dana when I was 3. Christmas here in Minneapolis was always like living in a snow globe, plucking through Carol of the Bells during acoustic Christmas because we all insisted on doing it every year, even though Dana wanted to do something new. Singing services on Christmas Eve and driving home at midnight in the quiet snow. Having a small morning with just my parents, frantically opening the wrapping paper and then watching movies for the rest of the day. And then I moved across an ocean. I now live and work in Paris. Texas? No. France. I promise I'm not trying to brag, but it's going to sound like it anyway, and for that I do apologize. So here are some of my memories of European Christmases past. I spent one Christmas with a family friend who lives in Rennes, which appropriately enough in French means reindeer. I remember opening presents on Christmas Eve, not day, and me wondering, but what will we do tomorrow morning? I remember going to Mass on the 24th and getting a face full of incense, and then meeting a girl who was on her own and inviting her back to our house for a Christmas dinner of homemade ossobuco. It's like an Italian thing. I remember having Christmas Day lunch with the extended family on a farm and watching the patriarch go out to feed the animals in his nice Christmas sweater and muddy boots. I spent a different year with a friend and her family in the Alps, about 20 miles away from the Evian Springs. Yes, that Evian. I remember learning how to play tarot, a French card game where somehow the jack is more valuable than the king. I remember indulging in foie gras and onion jam as an appetizer paired with champagne, naturally. And I remember answering the same question about 20 times. What do Americans eat for Christmas? Cookies, mostly. I remember we all had to leave a shoe in the living room before going to bed on Christmas Eve and woke up to find a pile of presents underneath it the next morning. Very efficient, as long as you know whose shoe is whose. Another year, my parents came across the pond and we spent a few days exploring the south of France. I remember each of us chose an activity. Mom wanted to go to the walled city at Carcassonne. I wanted to go to Andorra to cross another country off my list. And my dad wanted to wade in the Mediterranean for the very first time in December. It was cold. They ended up flying back to the US on Christmas Day morning. I didn't want to spend Christmas all by myself in my little studio, even though it's Paris. So I booked to go somewhere on the same day. As they left to go to the airport, I went with them and got on my own plane to Norway. I remember spending Boxing Day on a boat tour around the fjords in Oslo, and you have never known cold until you've known ancient Viking cold. But none of that matters when you get to watch the sunset over the Norwegian cliffs at 3 p.m. Last year was the hardest year to be away from everyone for obvious reasons that don't need to be repeated. My friend Kevin kindly invited me to stay with his family on a farm outside Lyon, and when I tell you that the Christmas dinner was 12 courses, it genuinely took 5 hours from start to finish. I remember trying caviar for the first time, and my review, squishy. The farm had live chickens that received all of our cooking scraps, and I remember Kevin's niece shrieking, "Merry Christmas, chickens!" while tossing the offcuts over the fence, and we were all in stitches for about 10 minutes. It was very cute. I thought at that point I'd gotten used to being away from home for the holidays and having a different experience every single time, a sort of sociocultural, anthropological study every year. I was and am eternally grateful to all the families who took me in, even during the pre-COVID vaccine times. But last year was touched with an extra shade of sadness, and I had moments where I just had to go and sit by myself and listen to Leslie Odom Jr.'s rendition of "I'll Be Home for Christmas." Maybe you know the lyrics. They're not too complicated. "I'll be home for Christmas, you can count on me. Please have snow and mistletoe and presents on the tree. Christmas Eve will find me where the love light gleams. I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams." You might ask me, why make yourself sad on Christmas? It's meant to be a joyous occasion. Well, I've had to learn over the years that denying your homesickness doesn't make it go away. And sometimes it helps to just sit in it. Allow it to have its moment. I can't look at her. Allow it to have its moment and then go off and do other things. So while I was enjoying all of the caviar and champagne and 6 different Christmas desserts, I am not exaggerating, it was a comfort to remember our Minnesotan snow and the holidazzle and night of silence just before midnight. And this year, I was able to come home for Christmas for the first time in over 7 years. Yay! As someone who grew up here, went away, and comes back every now and then, I can say with complete and utter conviction, the details may change, the masks may come on and off sometimes, but the warm glow is the same. And I am so thankful for all of you. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Joyeux Noël.
And then everybody was so worried about being, and we're going to have to do this again, in COVID, Omicron, oh my gosh, oh, we can't take our masks off and blow out a candle, we'll spread.
In the service, we hold candles at the end, and we were given candles at the beginning, and then for the last song, it's Night of Silence, Silent Night, and we all light candles, and the lights in the service go lower and lower and lower and lower. And usually, after the service is over, we all just kind of blow out the candles, but with the mask on, that's not possible. So we all just kind of had to hold a candle until we got to the end. And someone forgot to give the other snuffer back to the minister.
I didn't forget. I was practicing safety because usually what happens when you have a candle lighter, there's a wick inside and then a thumb thing where you can pull the wick into the
But it was
inside
all the way
to-
down, all right?
Yes,
Right?
it was
Like, it
already
wasn't
all the
me
way down.
making a mistake?
No. And so we are having this candle lighter with the wick on one side and the snuffer on the other side, and we pull the thing down and it wouldn't
fusses out.
retract any further.
Daddy,
and it
will you
was
turn off
still
the-
flaming.
Will you get the kettle off the thing?
Already done.
Thank you.
So we were trying to figure out how to blow out the candle lighter without exposing our faces and air and all of that stuff that Christian had just said we weren't going to do. And so we're kind of doing this.
And so, like, waving the program in
And
front
there
of
were
it.
little sparks of burnt wick that were flying off. And
so
that's
you
what
were
I was
worried
worried
about putting it down on a fabric pew and catching fire, which is fair. But then she
Yes.
forgot to give it back at the end of the service, so they only had one snuffer to put out everyone's things, and I had to run to the back of the sanctuary.
You offered to.
If I hadn't, that would have been an issue.
Mhm.
Anyway, and then we came home. You get back to your show. And Dad and I sprung into action.
You did? What?
I'm recounting what we've been doing. And all of the Christmas cookies are now on the buffet. And we are cooking dinner, which means... Oh, okay, wonderful. That we are doing soup. Our tradition is to have wild rice soup for Christmas Eve dinner. I have to preheat the oven for bread, too. And Dad has been helping me do that, and I have also been making dough for cinnamon rolls tomorrow. They're not cinnamon rolls because Dad doesn't really like cinnamon very much, so instead they are orange rolls, orange dough rolls. And I made the dough first and kneaded it, and now it is rising next to the radiator. And we're going to do soup, and then just before we go back to church for service number 2, I'm going to roll the rolls and then put them in a pan and put them in the fridge to rise overnight. Rise, to prove, to do the lifting overnight. So that is the plan. Dad,
Yeah.
come be on camera for a second. Thank you for being a wonderful Christmas elf helper. Kitchen elf. Elf. Where's Mary? Where's Mary? Oh, Bert, where are you? Ernie? Oh, Bert and Ernie.
No, weird.
Oh, that was before Sesame Street. Anyway, we have soup. Soup is here. How's the soup?
Fantastic.
Yay! Dad and I helped. And I convinced them to crack a bottle. I don't. What is this? 3 pairs? Have you had this one before?
Yeah, we've had.
Ooh, that's nice. I like that. This is a massive wine glass. This I'm French. I'm not used to this anymore.
It's called a generous pour.
Truly,
The better diplomacy.
this is 2 glasses of wine in a bar in France. Cheers to me. I'm not driving later. And even though we have like 2 hours before we need to go back to church, so we're fine.
Oh, I forget, like 2 hours.
Yeah, we have rehearsal at 10. Going to Midnight Man. Yeah. Well, it starts at 11. finishes at midnight.
So,
And poor George Bailey is freaking out because he doesn't exist anymore. And I don't know where my wife is, Mary. I would just like to state for the record, this is the 12th time that I have cried from Christmas-related things. Not even Christmas things all the time, just feelings. Feeling my feelings at the end of the movie. So, the tradition is, after It's a Wonderful Life is over,
Jimmy Stewart or James Stewart?
Jimmy. We go over to the tree, we find a bell, and we say, "Hey, Clarence! You're welcome!" It's blurry. Hold on. It's still blurry. Oh, I want it unblur. Okay. I can't unblur. Focus. You know what? We're just going to start again. Okay. Maureen? Let's take two. Well, service number 2 is done. I didn't film anything of the service, because awkward. But,
Candle in one hand. Camera in the other.
clearly we've sung 2 services.
It's hard to get breath with a stupid mask on.
I know. I tried the singer's mask and it smelled weird, so I went back to my standard, like, non-hospital mask, and I kept having to work not to inhale it, so I had to breathe in a certain way, like, so that was fun.
Sipping the straw.
Yes. But I think it went well. My voice is starting to crack, I can hear it. I cried again. That would be number 13 for anybody who's counting at home.
What got you this time?
Silent Night. Yeah, I was just thinking about Dana. I made it through Night of Silence, and then we got to Silent Night, and all the lights, all the little candle pinprick, because if you're not familiar with, I'm sorry, you can't see my face at all. With Night of Silence, it's like a accompanying melody to Silent Night, except different words. Cold are the people, blah, 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 blah. And it's, you start with like the choir having candles that are kind of passing a light from one to another, and then it moves into the congregation, and as the verses progress, you can see 0 of me. As the verses progress, they drop the lights lower and lower and lower, so that nope, can't see my face. So that by the end of it doesn't matter. By the end of the song, the lights are completely out, and the only lights that are in the sanctuary are the candles. And you finish the song, and it does the 3 verses of Night of Silence, and then 1 verse of Silent Night, and then you just kind of resonate, and you just breathe. And it was, for me, it was the lights all going out, and seeing the pinpricks, and just being like, we have done this so many times.
A cappella harmony.
And you pulled out the harmony, and I just couldn't sing at all for Silent Night. I tried the first line, and my voice went wobbly, and I just couldn't do it, and I was just staring at the candles. Verklempt. The one good thing about singing with a mask on is if you don't know what you're doing, and you don't want to sing the thing, you can just not do it, and nobody knows that you're not singing. You can move your cheeks around a little bit to look like you're moving, but nah. Yeah, and now we are homebound, and I think the last tradition that we have on Christmas Eve, going home from midnight mass. Merry almost Christmas, happy that you're here. Merry almost Christmas, happy almost New Year. Christmas feels like Christmas now that you are here. I can't remember how the melody goes, harmony goes. Merry almost Christmas, happy almost New Year. It's like, Merry almost Christmas, happy that you're here. Merry almost Christmas, happy almost New Year, or whatever it is. It's from Frog and Toad, and it's just so sweet. Sweet. No, we can't finish the clip on the cookies song. It has to be the Merry Almost Christmas song. Just Google that whole soundtrack. It's adorable. Anyway, Merry Christmas.
There's a piece of paper with the rules on it.
Oh no, they gone.
No.
Oh, you kept it?
Yeah.
Oh. Merry Christmas! Merry snowless, sunny, snowless Christmas. I feel like I'm back in Paris. Jesus.
But it's sunny.
But it's sunny.
There are teeny little snow patches across the street.
Yeah, it's gonna re-snow again. What, tonight? Tomorrow night?
2 inches are promised.
Okay, well that's good. What is happening here? This little ridge. What's happening right there?
Body.
Volume. Mommy, Merry Christmas.
Mele
Kalikimaka.
Kalikimaka. I remember my 1970s detective shows better than that.
Is that a Hawaii Five-0?
No, it wasn't Mannix. It was this big guy who was a detective in Hawaii. It was a whole episode that was everybody running around saying, Mele Kalikimaka.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Good story. And what's this?
This is a bowl full of cards because we've got time to kill while the cinnamon rolls are rising.
Plastic coated. Ooh la la. Ooh, these are nice. I like these cards. Jokers!
And how many do we need?
4.
4.
I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
So, I have imposed a tradition on this family, as all the other traditions, because I'm the only one who respects Christmas traditions. True or not true?
I enjoy Christmas traditions,
But do you do them?
I do not impose them. Well, some
I do.
Some of them I do.
Like what?
Church.
That's not a
Singing in the
tradition.
choir. Sure it is.
That's a standard thing. It's not like it. You go to church every Sunday, except tomorrow.
Wow. Yeah, but singing in choir and nighttime stuff and.
Anyway,
Hey, you guys aren't doing your job.
we are chatting with the camera. So that one of the traditions that I imposed in, I don't know, high school or something, is delaying the opening of presents as long as possible, within reason. And so we always start with coffee or tea and like a little chit chat, and then we do like a brunch thing, a Christmas brunch, but we have cinnamon rolls that are rising and are not going to be ready for like a while yet. And another one of our traditions that I have imposed is we play a game. And this time we're playing the very complicated card game that Mom can't remember the rules to. And we have to find the piece of paper that has all the rules printed on it. Written. I wrote it.
Internet.
But we have different rules.
There are a bunch of notepads right there.
I will write it. I will write it for you. So we are finding decks that would work for our game, and I just opened this card, and they are so buttery smooth, just so plastic and nice, and I'm so excited to shuffle them for the very first time. Here we go. Oh, that's a good feeling.
You have all of these people playing, and you have to have a full deck.
I just realized they're all face up.
Yes. A full deck per person plus 1 deck. So we are 3, so we need to find 4 full decks. And then you have to shuffle them, which is challenging enough when you only have 1 deck, let alone 4. So we do the shmush version.
I'm trying. I only have one hand.
And then we distribute a buttload of cards.
Buttload. Really
Buttload.
shuffle, because these have all been like what's the card version of alphabetized? Ordertized?
Yeah, ordered. Yeah.
Sequenced?
Sure. And then there's the
These cards are marked.
yes, they are. And now we know what it means.
Here, hide it.
Yeah. So everybody's going to get a bunch of cards, and then there's going to be a really big draw pile and a non-existent discard pile. And everybody's turn, you have to take 2 and
Right.
discard
Pick
1.
one. That's,
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
And the objective is to make
books of various points.
And how many cards is in a book?
Is it cards or is it points?
Cards.
5?
7.
7.
Give me the pen. I'll write it on your cheat sheet.
Oh, I was so close. Okay. And so 7 cards to put down. And you can't start putting down books until you have a certain amount of points. And each card has a different point value. So the minimum
Point values. Oh, point values for the cards. Point values for the books, which are later. These are the melds. So
that's
4
how many
rounds
points
of
you have to
gameplay.
have in your hand before you can put the cards down.
That's not in your hand. That's how many you have to put on the table at
Right.
the same time.
Yeah, before you can start putting them
Yeah,
down.
you can't semi-meld.
Right. So you can, and you can't, can you start a, oh, you don't have to have a full 7 cards to put
You have to
them
have
down.
3 cards to put down.
That's what I was thinking.
And then if you end up with 7 in one cluster, you can turn that into a book.
Yes, and so the point is you have to have, the game, or the round ends when the first person has completed a natural book and an unnatural book.
And has no more cards in their hand or in their foot.
Oh, that's right. There's that.
And you don't have to discard to end the round. You can just go
Right.
bing, 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 done.
So you have to be out
And
of
he has
cards.
done that and made me so angry before.
So you have to have no more cards in your, I forgot about that. When we're dealing, you're dealt 2 hands. Well, one's called a hand, one's called a foot, and you can only play one at a time, and you can't pick up the other one until your first one is all the way disbanded.
And when you're choosing which hand or whether to take which one, you can only look at the bottom card
Right.
in the thing. So you have to guess the contents of the deck, or you have to. It's
Yes.
random.
And okay, so to end the round, the first person to be completely out of cards has played them all into their books or their discards or whatever. You have to have one natural and one unnatural.
You said that already.
And the natural one means there are no
So proud of
wild
yourself.
cards in it. And then
And you can make a book of only wild cards, and it is worth a shitload of points.
so wild cards are valuable, and there are poison cards as well. Red 2s.
3s.
Red
3s.
3s.
2s are wild.
Oh, 2s are wild, right.
They're negative points.
Red 3 is poison.
No, it's just minus point.
That's a minus a lot of points.
Like
Red,
50.
black,
50.
no, 300.
Oh.
Black 3 is only minus 5. Red 3 is minus 300. So if you see a red 3, you get rid of that immediately.
Uh-huh.
You
And
can
they're
also, when
I think
you...
you could meld red 3s though.
No, you can't.
Mhm.
No,
You
I
sure
looked it
can.
up. You can't meld 3s.
I thought we played that way.
No, I think there's a variation. When you're the turn to how do you say pioche? Draw one of your.
How do you say pure shit?
Oh, no. The word for draw in French
We
is
don't
is-
dare.
the word in French for to draw is piocher. And so when it's like your turn, draw, you say pioche. It kind of sounds like falling into a lake, I guess.
Splash.
Okay, so who wants to deal?
I'll deal.
Okay, 6 of 13. 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13.
6 13s.
When you are drawing, you either choose 2 decks off of the draw pile, 2 cards off of the draw pile, or if you have 2, like a pair of cards in your hand that hasn't already been laid out on the table, you can draw a third of that same combination and then take the 6 cards below that. So you'd take 7 from the discard pile.
Don't you have to prove right away that you already have?
You have to have 2 of, so like if there's a 4 here and I want that 4,
Mhm.
I have 2 4s in my hand. I can lay down, you already have to have melded
Oh, okay.
also. It can't be part of your meld.
Okay.
You can lay down the 2 4s and then say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 instead of drawing from the pile.
And hope there's gold in them.
Well, if you're tracking it, you can get some good valuable stuff. Okay, I'm literally at 6 minutes of explaining this game. I think we should just start playing. Okay, so I need to choose my hand or my foot. Shit. I'm gonna go with this one because I don't want this card. And now I've just told you what it is.
No, you didn't.
More or less. What's the card that you don't want?
The bad one.
This one. Okay, at this point, there's really no use in hiding your meld because it's a pretty easy meld to get. It's just 50. So I'm going to lay down my cards now. Boom, there's my meld.
How much are they worth? The little ones are 5.
Got all of the values right there. Done. Melded. Oh, and I have to discard. This one. There you go. Have a 3.
Just one?
Just yeah. Yeah. You draw 2, discard 1. We've also put on Copper Street Brass for the festive holiday
This
moment.
is great. 4 minus 7 equals 5.
4 through 7.
I know, it's cool though. 4 minus 7 equals 5.
Former math teacher.
I see your yuck and I raise you. Ew.
That's the worst one! I forgot to say, all of the other...
Yeah.
I'll turn it down. I forgot to say, if someone goes out and you still have cards in your hand, those cards count against your
How much milk
Game.
do you need before you put
50.
down?
It's literally all
50.
on the page for you.
50. Alright.
So, I am now in my foot. Ha-ha! And I have some cards to lay down. I'm going to hold on to this one. Yes, please. It's way too hard to do one-handed.
Okay, now she's going.
Here we go. So, I have 3 aces, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 aces! I have a book! I had 4 aces in my foot.
Oh, and because it's natural, what color do you put on top?
Red on top.
Okay.
If it's unnatural, if it had wild, then you put a black on top. Then I have a king. This one I don't use yet. There. This one goes here. This one goes here. This one I don't use yet. 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 This one goes away. Done! Okay, so it is, alright. So it is now a couple hours later. It's like noon. Actually, it's 1 minute to noon. And Dad and I are doing brunch.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. And we have a couple things on the go. It's not too complicated. We have some, very loud sizzling sausages. Love that. Got some scallions for eggs that are going to be getting going in a few minutes. And in the oven, I'm not going to open it because it's like opening it will let the heat out. We have some tater tot rounds going on the bottom layer just to warm them up. And then I'm going to finish them in the saute pan with some of the oil from the sausages. And then some cinnamon rolls that have about 9 minutes left. And I think, and we have some homemade bread somewhere that, here, that someone from church made. So we're going to have that with like, actually, Daddy, would you slice this into slices? And we're going to have that with like butter and jam and stuff. And maybe, do you think Mom would want more coffee?
I don't know. I'll ask you. Probably not, though.
Okay, obviously heat up some more tea for me. Are you going to want some tea, Baba?
Hot water, please.
Hot water. Well, that's not going to be immediate. Anyway, that's the next thing. So we're going to have brunch. And then we have a family chat at 2 with the Chiappetta side, my mom's side. So that's the side that we did Secret Santa for. So we're going to have to open our presents before that. So we can talk about what we got and I'll fess up. So I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to add a little bit of water in here to make sure that it's steaming well. We are learning some stuff, getting through it. To break the yolks. Stab! Violence!
Take this! Take that! You vile creature.
I'm the boss! Is the bowl too small?
A bit.
Oh well, you can do it. Christmas brunch has begun! What do we think?
Delicious.
Thanks for being my kitchen helper, Baba.
You're welcome.
So, what? Who made the bread again?
Scott Tower.
We made bread, last week, and it's held up quite well.
Yeah, it did.
And then sausage and mini tater tot, or hash brown rounds or something, and cheesy eggs. And there's cinnamon rolls that are still cooling down a little bit. Part 2 of brunch! That's like the low budget version of a Zoom. Plus, it's not glazed because Because the glaze is
You want that toast?
separate.
Did you catch what I did?
No.
You want that toast?
Oh, there's more toast in the toaster oven. I forgot.
Alright.
I'm gonna tap it up again.
No, you do this. You do this. Never mind.
And then we do a little drizzle.
Drizzle for shizzle.
Oh, no. Shall I drizzle you, Ba? It's more like a pool. Okay, so how full are we from brunch?
Pretty full.
Pretty good.
But my food's been going down for about 20 minutes, so I'm feeling better.
I just finished eating my last mouthful, which is a surprise to no one. I have since put on my Santa imitation hat, which is really Dad's super long nightcap, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Ski hat.
Is it a ski hat?
Back
All the cool kids wore them.
in our time.
When? 1877?
1977.
And I have now taken up my position. Oh my God, Mom, you're
Tucking in.
cocooning. You're cocooning. At least you are seasonally appropriate. What does your thing say? On top. Hold it up at the top.
I can't.
In the spirit of giving. Well, in that spirit, I have assumed my position as gift distributor. So I reach under the tree at random and just throw it at someone.
Ow.
I'm just waiting for Dad to finish with his computer
I'm done.
and be fully present in the moment. Wonderful.
Give me an inch, girl.
Okay, reaching into the bundle, I seem to
The
have
bundle.
taken this one, and it's for Maureen!
Yay!
And there's no way I can... Yes, I can pick it up with one hand. It's not heavy. And I thought ahead, because we have so many cardboard boxes, I also brought a pair of scissors.
Okay, watch out for your phones.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Dismiss the wrapping.
It's a swimsuit.
Is that what you asked for?
It's what I ordered.
You gave yourself a Christmas present?
Well, it's a next to me. And
Exaltation of Larks.
yes.
What's
So
that?
what do you call a group of jurors?
As in on a jury?
A damning of jurors.
Damning? Like damnation?
Eloquence of lawyers.
Oh. I know a pod of whales.
A decent woodpecker.
Isn't it a murder of crows but an unkindness of ravens? Or is it the reverse? Alright. Dad, see if you can read the label on this one.
Says wackadoo. I don't think you spelled that right.
I
though.
did. It just kind of bled.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't write it very nicely.
Mushrooms.
Grow your own mushroom kit.
That sounds fun though.
Yeah. So, okay, a little bit of backstory for you. I should not.
How did you get that across the ocean?
I should not have brought that
How
across
did
an
you
ocean.
sneak that into the country.
Wait, you're not recording this, are you?
Well,
Yeah, this would be fun. Yeah, this would be
I
good.
figured it's never gonna leave the house. It's never gonna like come in contact with.
It's never even gonna
the
come
outside.
upstairs. It's got to be in the basement. Right?
Yeah, I think so. And I'm
Or
gonna
the
have to.
dam.
I'm gonna have to translate all of the instructions for you.
Ooh, did you smell the dirt? Oh, did you not get the dirt? You didn't smell it?
I'm still smelling rosemary and cranberries.
Well, I don't know why.
Hey, good
Say it again.
gift. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Okay. All right. This one is for David Chris Kringle Engelhart. Chris Kringlehart.
Yes.
Here we go.
Chris is my buddy. All right then. I didn't know they did that. Now. Oh.
Well, you got a knife right in your hand.
Do I? Let's see. Does it work? No.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm gonna do
Who
a.
tests a knife by stabbing themselves in the chest.
Welcome to the Engelhart Christmas.
It's good. This is good.
That is so
'cause
creepy.
It's got a little finger notch there. Oh yeah.
He's ready to be an assassin. Okay, essays to Lydia Davis. Who is Lydia Davis? Praise for essays 1. Okay, is our Vermeer patiently observing? Okay. Nice. Nice thickums. Magician of Self-Consciousness. Oh, Jonathan Franzen. He wrote, books. Everything is Illuminated and Something Loud, Incredibly Close.
I do love this name.
Good for you. The best prose stylist in America. Cool. Translating Proust. She's a translator! Like me! Flaubert's masterwork. Oh, and she lives in Arles. Oh, she makes an extended visit to the French city of Arles. Arles.
Oh,
Try saying it. Try saying it.
I can't.
And writes about the varied adventures of learning Norwegian, Dutch, and Spanish through reading into. Oh my God, cool! It's a chunk of a book. I'm excited to look like I'm very smart reading this. Thank you. No, it's 2KF sent. There's one abbreviated word and one full word, and it is not consistent.
That means fun, Santa.
Fun Santa.
Fantastic Santa.
Fantabulousy. Alright, so.
Yeah, there.
Fondle Santa.
Fumble.
Fresh Santa.
Filet? No.
Santa.
I can't get it out. Keep. Oh. Did you find this upstairs?
Fishmonger.
Did you find this upstairs?
Sure did.
It's Acoustic Christmas from 2007.
That's a long time ago.
That was my senior year
Yeah,
Christmas.
I figured this is a good time to re-gift.
Also,
because-
Kira.
Yeah, I know. Who wrote Kira?
Probably someone at Mayflower.
Somebody at the church. That's
All right, well, that'll be a trip down memory lane.
Yeah.
Well, here's the haul. This is technically not a Christmas present, but my aunt sent me a bunch of hair ties that she doesn't need anymore in a cute little basket. And then a couple books. And I've never read John Grisham before, so we'll see what that gives me. And a card game and a check from Grandma. And this totally cheater regift from Dad that he found upstairs. And this scarf. So, I'm pretty sure this is a pretty successful Christmas. Pretty. Daddy, are you happy?
Yes, I'm very happy.
Good. Are you going to go take a nap?
Yes, I need a nap.
That's why you're happy.
No, Joey had me. I'm pretty sure it is a. Bridget is going to be surprised now. Yeah, got a pen light. A pen light, yeah. Ooh, pen light. Aha!
Aha, nice.
Blood cuff, blood pressure cuff.
Oh,
I do need one of those. I did ask for a blood pressure cuff. Yeah. Blood pressure cuff.
oh, very cool.
When you get to a certain age where your Christmas requests are more practical than fun,
This is so fun, Kiara. What are you talking about?
yeah, squeezing yourself repeatedly.
Dad would like
I don't know if they go 100% one way or the other, but certainly there's a balance.
What's for dinner?
Are you asking me?
Cornish
I
hens.
French hens?
Cornish game hens.
I wanted French hens. I want to see you roast some French hens.
3 of them, right?
Yeah, like a lamb.
We can name them Francois, Pierre, and Émilie, and they will be French.
Emily in Paris.
Yeah.
If they're hens, they all have to have female names, so Gaston.
It's true.
Nice.
No Gaston.
Gaston.
Gastonette.
Gastonette. Gastonel. Yeah.
What about you, Mike? What
Well,
flavor are
That's
you?
not true. I think a rooster could get in there too. Probably the cabbage rolls because they're like a pound a piece. I mean, what are we gonna do with them?
Oh, that's pretty big.
Yeah. I couldn't leave the meal yesterday without taking some, so okay, I guess I'll take 2. You need more? No, I don't. They won't fit. So,
What about you, Sean?
Like a lamb and rice since I didn't do it on Thanksgiving.
Nice.
You and Joe eat a whole leg of lamb.
Well, we have leftovers.
Not in one sitting, yeah. That makes sense.
I can see you both gnawing at it from different ends.
I mean, and it's not that big, but it's rich.
It's more fun when you call it mutton. Than your mutton joint.
Sounds medieval when you call it mutton. What are the whites having for dinner?
we got lamb
Lamb chops
with potatoes.
and roasted potatoes.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe if I can find my blowtorch, I'll make some creme brulee.
Oh,
Blowtorch.
But I need to find my blowtorch.
let's find that blowtorch.
Yeah, you're on it. You guys find my blowtorch, I'll make creme brulee. I don't know where my blowtorch is.
What a command to be able to
You
give.
know,
You find my
I think I have a
blowtorch.
solution. Now, you know good Pennsylvania, but hold on.
Oh, Grandma, what are you having for dinner?
Leftovers.
Woo! This is the face of someone who desperately needs a Christmas nap. I'm gonna little Christmas nap. Good night. Well, this nap time seems to have run on a little long. I think I slept for about an hour-ish. I did a little bit of reading and kind of like fell asleep to a podcast. Woke up kind of toward the end of the podcast, a little bit later, I guess. And both my parents are still sleeping. I guess they needed it. I tired them out. Which is fine. We have always been a napping family, so that's no big deal. And we need lots of energy for food round 2. I have a big Christmas dinner planned. So I'm just enjoying the calm a little bit. I'm reading. Ow, I just hit my head with my iPad. That is not good Christmas karma. Anyway, I'm just reading, or I was reading my ebook. I'm reading Percy Jackson. There's a podcast that follows along, like, they read a chapter of Percy Jackson and then they analyze it, and they've never read it before. And I read it a long time ago, and it was fun to discover it, so I'm doing it again, and kind of reading a chapter and then listening to an episode, because it's easy. And I want to clear my book docket for all of the cool new books that I got. And I just have a cup of tea there, and I think pretty soon I'm going to start working on some food prep for Christmas. And I really don't know what the rest of the plan is. We have 2 more rounds of that crazy complicated card game to play, so we might do that at some point. And I think the goal is just hang out, chill, watch movies, maybe. Oh, I can hear my dad moving around upstairs. He'll be a while before he comes down, though. Can I just say, though, the view of the tree is so pretty right now. Like, I don't know why this row of lights isn't working. I think they shorted out, but I'm loving this little wreath situation going up here. Hey, Bubba. Very Christmassy. Did you sleep okay?
I did. I had a wonderful nap.
I also had a wonderful nap, and I woke up refreshed.
I know. I'm ready to have Christmas number 2.
Ooh.
Your dream is gone.
Just like that.
Just like that, because of some potatoes.
Well.
A rotten bit of potato.
So it looks like someone is doing much more work than the other one. But what you don't see,
Fingers all
what
wrinkly.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
what
And
you
your
don't
brain
see.
is wrinkly too.
Oh, that's not nice. Why are you masking yourself in the dining room, Mother?
I'm kind of cold.
Do you want some hot water? Oh,
I
gotta
don't
beep.
think so, thank you.
Okay. What you don't see is Mom just spent like half an hour washing all the dishes from brunch. So She's helping too. And now Dad's doing veg, and I'm doing appetizer and bread. And then we're gonna have some appetizer and some downtime.
Cards.
And we can play more cards. Okay, that's a done deal. So this is our appetizer. We have baked camembert plus the leftover puff pastry things. And then carrots and peppers and crackers. And we're just gonna, I don't think we need silverware or anything. We just need to dip in. You wanna use your knife to cut it open? Your favorite knife? Your super exciting knife that you love so much? I would say X.
X.
I'm gonna go right here.
Not all the way through. Just the top.
Like this.
No. Across. Across.
But that's nothing.
But we want it
Nothing.
open.
You want to pierce the cheese. Remember
Trust me.
what a camembert looks like?
Get all going. Okay, now Yeah.
You do it.
it's favorite knife. And so then we peel back the pieces. I'm going to use a carrot stick to get in there. Oh. Oh.
Save the puff pastry.
Oh.
Hey, puff pastry.
Every bit. There's also some fig jam in there for a bit of sweetness.
Oh, what it needs is a fork. That's crazy.
So essentially, this is fondue without a pot.
Or is it fondue?
Why would you say don't? About
It's an
something I just
edible
made?
pot.
Let it slip away.
There we go. Saved it. See there, drippy and good, and you can dunk anything. You can dunk the carrots in. You can dunk the puff pastry. You can dunk the crackers. Dunk your finger, though it's hot.
Oh, it's good. Very good.
Mommy, would you like some cheese?
I'm gonna let it outgas just a little bit more.
It's gonna get solid.
You know. And I'll eat some more then.
Really good.
Well, I have sufficiently violated 3 hens by putting lemon and garlic and rosemary in their insides. So now they're gonna go. Oh my god, that's very heavy. Okay, we can do this. I'm not gonna drop it. Oh, I came very close to dropping it. Okay, there we go. Goodbye, turkeys. Turkeys, birdies. Let's go. That for now. So we have 3 different glasses for 3 different people. I'm pointing at me. And so then we're just doing a little garnish of rosemary.
Rosemary.
So this one is for Dad because we put some ginger beer in it instead of ginger ale for us too. Mom, do you have a preference? Great, I want this one. This is my
All right, let's chink.
somehow my favorite glass. Okay, I hope it's good. I haven't tasted it all together. Cheers! Yeah. The deliberation.
The pulpiness, the little
There's
Pulp.
lime. It's
pulp
lime.
bits that rise to the top, they're really good. Yeah, it's good.
I wish we had ice cubes, but all of our ice cubes were a little freezer burny, so.
Lovely.
Oh, good.
It doesn't need ice.
I could have put more gin, but I figured, whoa, Nelly.
Very good.
Good.
Fancy. Fancy.
Right? Christmassy.
Yeah, that too.
Green and red.
All right. Final round of game.
All right.
Are you ready to take me down?
How bad am I?
Mom has 2,680. David has 3,655. Kiara has 5,140.
All right,
Oh man.
let's get her done.
Bring
I
it.
thought I was doing really well. Like I was gonna get out of the basement.
Well, let's just say you ended the first round
You
negative.
finally woke up and started playing. I mean,
Oh!
your cards finally helped you out.
That's not Christmassy.
a little
I suppose I
abrasive-
should say.
abrasive smush.
I suppose I. Oh God. I suppose I should say what it is. It's cranberry rosemary simple syrup and cranberry juice, not cranberry cocktail, just cranberry juice, lime juice, gin, ginger ale.
Okay, I'm gonna taste this one because
These two are slightly.
Oh, can I
different,
try
right?
yours
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
ginger
yeah.
beer in it? There's only a little bit of ginger beer.
Oh yeah, this one is a little stronger.
Yours is stronger?
Yeah, it's a little stronger.
I tied my hair up for cooking purposes. I like yours better. I like it with the ginger beer. This is still nice. This one is sweeter. That one has more tart to it. Anyway, birds are in the oven. Vegetables are mostly prepped. The only thing, like the timer's going to go off in about 15, and then I'm going to have to start going back and forth every now and then.
Actually, we did. We're much
So,
closer to you than we
Mom
were.
just smoked us in that last hand.
That's true.
And yet,
You managed
Wait,
to get
what are
into
you
your
doing?
foot. I did not.
Separating the decks out.
Oh,
We're done. Yeah. So I had all of my foot cards counting against me, plus what was in my hand. So I did not get a pretty point. And yet, ultimately, I still won.
I still lost.
But not by much. You had 4,035. Dad had 4,890. I had 5,790.
So we
Well, considering you started second round at negative, you did make some significant progress. Anyway, I'm gonna go do food stuff. Sizzling. Brussels sprouts are massive. And yet there's one little baby one just there. Little fella. Just hanging out with the big boys. Alright, we've just taught Dad how to play Anomia, and we haven't had any competition yet, so... Nope. Oh.
Yahtzee!
You... What? Nazi?
I said Yahtzee.
What does that match? How is Yahtzee a cowboy accessory?
Smith! I get one card.
She gets the
We're
top
starting
card.
over. Starting over.
Oh my god!
Come on, that was a Yahtzee moment if ever there was.
Yahtzee, you fool.
It's me.
I definitely thought you said Nazi as well.
Well,
I
so
did too. I thought it meant like that you would tie
so
under the saddle
Not see?
if you thought I said Nazi, who's
of
the
a
fool?
belly of a pony.
I'm laughing so hard you guys are shaking in the camera. Woo-hoo. Okay, here we go. Now answer the category.
Okay, wait. Okay, let's just do a couple practices. Okay, so let's all turn over our cards, right? And okay, so now these two match. Right?
Oolong.
That's the one that I was thinking of, and I was trying to who
Okay.
wrote Sherlock?
Okay, so you see the two symbols match.
So
Now-
I have to name her category before she names
Oh,
my
okay.
category.
Okay, so you said oolong before she even said
A
anything,
word.
but you were gonna say
I was trying to say, my brain wanted to say